Hey everybody, welcome to Composition 1. My name is Amy Davis and I will be your instructor for this summer session of Comp 1. So that first video I made messed up. That happens. It is what it is. So I am going to break this course welcome video into 2 or 3 shorter videos. So I'm kind of glad I messed it up because I feel like this is going to work better. So this first video is just a tour of the class, all right? So when you click on our class from that D2L main page, this is what's going to pop up. Some of you may be super familiar with D2L and this is all just boring and you know that and that kind of thing. But if this is your first time using D2L or you're kind of new to it, I did want to give you a little bit of a tour because D2L is kind of a dinosaur. It looks the same as it did when I first ever used it in 2012. So if you're used to Canvas or something like that, that's a little bit more user-friendly, D2L is a little bit of a pain in the butt, so it is definitely worth your time to click around and see how it's laid out and that kind of thing. So I'm going to show you the main components here that we're going to use for this class. This first page is actually kind of important. So I will post announcements regularly throughout the semester. I post at least one announcement per week that's just like, hey, here's some reminders, here's what you need to do, that kind of thing. That does not take the place of looking at your actual to-do list for the week, but it will. I'll give you some tips, or if there's anything that I feel like I need to share, that kind of thing, I will put it in an announcement. So do look for that each week. I try to do it pretty early in the week, usually Monday or Tuesday, unless I don't know, something happens. But yeah, so you'll get a weekly announcement and then random ones throughout the semester. Please make sure you read those. There's useful information. Tip for managing an online class, especially if this is your first one, is just read all the stuff. Like, know where it is. Make sure you're staying on top of it, right? So check into D2L regularly, read the assignment instructions, read the stuff you're supposed to do every week, read the announcements. Like, that way you are definitely, like, what's up. I feel like a lot of life is just reading the instructions and making sure you know what to do. So it is on you to, like, make sure you know how to work this. So yeah, here's our course. So look at the announcements. I will post them regularly. I think it'll give you a little notification when I do. Also down here is this little calendar. This does not have absolutely everything that's due, right? So it doesn't have, like, if you have a reading assignment or a video you need to watch, that's not going to be linked here. But I do put, like, different stuff. So like your major essays and your what am I trying to say? Your discussion boards and that kind of thing will be listed there. I try to make the due dates as clear as I can. So do look at the announcements, and then, if you want to use the calendar, that way you can. Content is where you're going to find most of the content for this course, as one would expect. And I break it up into modules. I don't think there's any other way to do this in D2L. You will not, I haven't published all of your modules because I'm still kind of messing with them. So you will not be able to see all this stuff, but at this time, but you will later on. The first module here is the course info and policies, and I am going to make another video for you that goes over that. So we're not going to bother with that right now. Just know that the policies and stuff are really important and they're right there. And make sure you watch that video as well. Then our actual, like, functional modules start, I break them up by units and then by weeks. That's the best way I've found to organize it. That is, minimally confusing. So since we are asynchronous and online, which means that we don't, like, have a Zoom meeting or anything like that every week, you can kind of go about the week's work at your own pace. So here, I'll give week 2 as an example. So here, week 2, I have this to-do list for you. You do have specific things due, right? So you'll have a discussion board due on Sunday, but, like, when you do all this other stuff beforehand is really up to you. Like, you could do it you do it on Monday, or you can do it on Sunday at 9 p.m. or whatever works for your schedule. So as long as like, you're working through this to-do list, like, you don't have to do, I watched Unit 1 overview on Monday and I watched Essay 1 instructions on Tuesday. You need to do that. You just need to do this stuff at some point this week. And so, sometimes, it's really up to you to make sure you're managing your schedule here. So I give you to-do lists. If you click on each module, the module button itself will have your to-do list, and then all of the stuff that you need to do that week will be linked below. So, excuse me. So for week 2 here, you have we'll do week 2. It's better. This week 1 is 2 days. It's goofy. So week 2 is, you got all this stuff, and then, I haven't posted those videos yet because I have not made them. I'm going to do that in a few minutes, but, so it says read free writing, there's free writing, read how to mark a book, there it is, read how to write with style, there it is. So everything will be linked in this over here. So I also link the discussion boards too, in the modules, and I will link the essay, or the Dropbox assignments you have to turn in as well. So that's how you get to it. Sometimes these links break. I don't know why. Again, D2L kind of sucks. So if you, oh no, this discussion link isn't working, you can navigate to it yourself. Tell me for sure. I would like to fix the link. But you can navigate to all of the discussions in one place by going up here to this discussions tab over here, and you'll find everything you need to find. So content's your main place. It's good to look at the announcements, but you can also get to the discussions and the Dropbox and that kind of thing this way as well. So discussions will be one we use. Assignments is another one that we use. So this is where you will submit your essays and any other work stuff. You'll have a few, you'll have I don't remember how many discussion boards. You'll have a few of those, and you'll do that under this tab, but the assignments like the essays and random stuff you will submit here. I try to break it down pretty clearly by unit and all that. So content is important, most important than discussions and assignments. We don't really have any quizzes, maybe later on, but don't worry about it too much. For your grades, I do change the settings so that you can see everything. So if you want to stay, you want to see how your grades are doing, you can click there. However, the way that D2L displays it is really funky. It doesn't give you here's your current percentage of stuff that's, on time and been graded or whatever. It just gives you this fraction that's out of the total that's posted. So your fraction, if you're looking at your fraction and, we haven't done the research paper yet, it's going to look like you have less points, right? Because it's not taking into account that we haven't done the research paper yet. So if you're ever at all confused about your grades or want to know kind of where you stand, that kind of thing, this is where you'll go. Grades is also, or no, don't go there. You can go there if it doesn't make sense to you. Email me. That's what I was trying to say. Let me know. Grades is also, say you get a little bit behind and you're not sure what you need to catch up on. Grades is also a good tab to do that. The class progress is a little bit more confusing, and grades will show you what you have a 0 on. I will say under the grades tab, if you have a 0, it's actually a 0. If you have a little line, a little dash there, it just means that I haven't graded it or the feedback hasn't been published. And if it's that little line, it's not counting towards your grade yet because I just, haven't graded yet, or you haven't submitted it yet, or something like that. So a 0 is a 0, a little dash is not counting towards anything. You can see your class progress here. I can see your class progress as well. So if you, I can see how many times you've logged on and how long and all of that. So if there becomes an issue where you're I don't know how to do blah, 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 I'll be able to look at your class progress and maybe see that you're not watching the videos or, not reading the instructions for more than 4 seconds, that kind of thing. And that's what I'm going to tell you to do. So if you are lost in this class and you don't know what, use content. That's a better way to do it. Use grades, and just know I can see what you looked at and didn't. I don't check that. I don't keep tabs on it at all. I just look at it sometimes if there are issues, which are, pretty rare. So that's good. Class list here, you can, if you pull this up, it'll show everybody in the class, and this is a way that you can send messages to people. So here's me. If you click on it, on my name, it'll pull up a D2L message to me. So maybe if you want to talk to somebody in class, like about, like you have a question or you, I don't know, they said something cool in their discussion board and you want to message them, you can do it there. Please do be respectful and that kind of thing. But I've had online classes where, I kind of vibed with somebody from the discussion boards and they'll be like, hey, what did you write about for this or something. That's fine. People are not obligated to respond to you, of course. So this is what our course looks like. I hope it's pretty easy to navigate. I will be posting more content in the coming, days, weeks kind of thing. I'd try to stay pretty ahead of it, but make sure that you have everything you need when you need it. But welcome to Comp 1. I'm gonna now make a few more videos and that will go over the course policies and stuff, which are pretty important. So make sure you are watching the videos for this class. I try to keep them short and sweet. So